Rainforest, tundra, desert, savanna, and coral seas. These ecosystems share two things in common. One, they're absolutely amazing and hold a great deal of biodiversity. And two, unless you're very lucky, they're very far away. I aim to show you that your backyard is just as diverse and interesting as any of these places. You just have to think a little smaller. My name is Jesse Hildebrand, and my backyard is outside the lab. Finding biodiversity is often a matter of perspectives. At 6 feet tall, I may be dwarfed by an elephant or blue whale, but I am larger than 99% of all living things. So, to get a little closer to where most of the animals are, we'll go down where the action is. The grass. Down here, where the grass is at eye level, you really begin to get a sense of what life is like for the organisms that call this place home. At this scale, a single blade of grass is a sequoia, and the whole backyard, an impenetrable forest that stretches to the ends of the earth. It is worth reminding ourselves just how much life an ecosystem like this can support. A single teaspoon of good soil can hold over 1 billion organisms, from insects to worms, bacteria to fungi. For a comparison, that's about the size of India or China's population. What makes all this life possible is the substrate, the soil that underlies the grass. And what makes the soil possible is the action of worms. Charles Darwin's last book was not on natural selection or the evolution of man. Instead, it was called The Formation of Vegetable Mold Through the Action of Worms. In it, he describes that through slow processes of digestion and excretion, worms create the soil underneath our feet. He estimates that in a single hectare of land, earthworms move up to 100 tons of soil per year. However, earthworms are by no means the most numerous worm you can find in your backyard. That distinction belongs to the nematode. Hardly known outside of biology, nematodes are among the most numerous organisms on Earth. You can find them in the polar ice caps, the bottom of oceans, in every ecosystem imaginable, and on any animal you can think of. There is said to be a species that lives only in a type of German beer mat. It has been said that if you took away all other matter on Earth and inside the Earth, that the world would be dimly recognizable just by the presence and outline of all the roundworms that encircle every living and non-living thing on the planet. However, for now, we're going to get a little bigger. And by bigger, I mean about half the size of your fingernail, for one of the animals with the most names of any I know in the animal kingdom. You might know it as a pill bug, a sow bug, a potato bug, a roly-poly bug, a woodlouse, or an isopod. It doesn't matter what you call it. What matters is the trick it has up its sleeve. Unlike a butterfly or beetle, an isopod is not an insect. Instead, it's a crustacean, much like a crab or a lobster. Like all crustaceans, the isopod must lay its eggs in water. Well, how does it do this? Well, it doesn't find a pond or puddle in your backyard. Instead, when the female is ready to lay eggs, she grows segments underneath her legs, which become a chamber and fuse. She fills this chamber with water and lays her eggs in there. Life in your backyard is as diverse and as interesting as can be found in any forest or coral sea. Between the sheer number of species and the creative and amazing ways they find to stay alive, it is worth looking down every now and then to see what you miss when you don't think small. From outside the lab, see you next time.